Using aluminum extrusion, we can build literally anything. And as you can see, I built a bed that can survive for 300 years, or probably longer. And for this video, I am going to start with step 2. Yes, step 2, the assembly process. From the statistics of my older videos, I've realized people get bored watching the material preparation process. Therefore, you will find step 1 at the end of the video. You are now looking at the sides of the bed. Rather than using only one type of profile, we can mix and match a 30 and 20 series aluminum profiles to achieve creative masterpieces. 3D printed parts were made to help with accurate alignment, because these two parts were not meant for each other in the first place. The 2020 extrusion here is to take the weight of a human. Therefore, we have to add as many secure fixtures as possible. Oh yeah, by now you might have noticed that I changed my narrator. My previous voice, Joey, retired, and Liam will take over from now on. And if you want to download the plans for this aluminum bed, just visit our website. I'll list out the affiliate links to get all the parts in the description below, so you will be able to complete your project with all the parts you need. Ever since I made videos and uploaded 3D plans for the world to use, we have a few hundred downloads already, and we would like to say a huge thank you for the kindest support. We have a lot more creations on the way, so stay tuned. Using a step drill bit, I am enlarging the holes in this flush plate to a size 8. I've named this product a flush plate because I use it exactly as the name implies. With flush plates secured on both ends and the 3D printed alignment jigs in place, the exact position is found, and we can bolt down this assembly. Oh yeah, look, this is nice and perfect. I know you must be wondering. Don't worry, later on I'll tell you why I built this bed. I've assembled a lot of hardwood beds before, and this part does seem to be lighter than a wooden one, but it is definitely stronger than wood. And if you want to know how I made holes large enough for a socket head bolt, this is how it's done. I really prefer to work with aluminum more than wood due to the easy cleanup. Rather than dust all over in the circulating air, I only need to deal with aluminum chips which can be taken care with by a vacuum. We can now assemble the headboards. The front and the back of the bed is exactly the same, with a piece of colored MDF board for the aesthetics. All the holes were already precisely drilled, and all the joinery will be hidden from view because nobody likes seeing corner brackets everywhere. And don't worry about the drilled holes. My slot cover party will take care of it later on for the final touch-up. Whenever I don't feel like drawing mark lines, I'll use this ruler and lock it down at the exact length. It acts as a stop block, and if everything has been prepared precisely, we should be able to exactly find the screw head, despite across 90 millimeters of aluminum. I am briefly tightening these 3 hidden bolts. After confirming that the location is exact, I'll use this method to seriously lock them down as tight as I can. This method is even stronger than using an impact driver. I've used this method to tighten many other larger structures like aquarium racks, display cases, aluminum extrusion kitchen, aluminum study table, aluminum dining table, and many more. And if the argument is on the necessity of Loctite, I'm telling you, it is not required. But if you still wish to use Loctite, please go ahead. It is just going to add extra time to the assembly. And just in case you are wondering, yes, we have upcoming videos on all these projects you just witnessed. This is the colored MDF panel that I cut down from my leftover scraps at the workshop. In the later part of this video, you will see how it's being prepared accurately. I'd like to always add other materials to my aluminum frames to improve the aesthetics, suitable for domestic use. And for this panel, a good sand and a couple layers of beeswax will achieve the perfection that I want. Beeswax will help with the waterproofing, and the more coats we apply, the darker it gets. This is the part where the panel will be inserted. I designed it in a manner that it is completely sandwiched on all 4 sides and will not be removable without dismantling. And to close it up, this piece of extrusion that has only 2 usable sides will be secured down. After so many projects that I completed over the years, my choices of extrusion type evolved. I started off using the normal types, which has grooves on all sides, but now I have been choosing extrusions that do not have slots on either one or more sides, since my designs are more focused on aesthetics rather than industrial nowadays. Aluminum end caps will always be used in my designs too, since at every corner joint, there will be an exposed extrusion edge to close up. And this is one of the many examples of how you can do so. You should have already noticed, I used another aluminum end cap to help with flushing the joint. And to finish off the end caps, I always use stainless steel countersunk bolts to achieve the long-lasting chrome look. To protect the flooring, these plastic end caps will suffice. And pushing the bed around the room should not scratch the vinyl flooring. I've planned this project in my head for a month before I started to 3D model it out in Shaper 3D. From the beginning, I already knew we need special parts to help with alignment, since I am assembling it alone. Hence, I designed these parts just for this build. And yes, to answer your question in advance, all the 3D printed parts are included in the download. The assembly process is going to be so enjoyable for you when you have these necessary parts. With these, the first headboard is done. Let me show you how fast the next headboard can be assembled. All right, time to wake up. Give me a sec. I'll get the background music up first. I'm not sure how long you've been gone, but we are about to tackle the toughest part of the assembly. We will need to handle the flush, alignment, and the joinery at the same time. I've intended to put together a multitude of methods in this section, so that your assembly will be as perfect as mine. Technically, this is a two-person task, but on this day, I'm pretty short of help, and you get to see my struggles here and there. But luckily, I have the 3D printed part to help that tiny bit, which helped tremendously by removing the need for me to look at any marked line. On top of that, I invited many of my best friends today, mainly the large clamp, the medium clamp, and the small clamp, as well as their friends. Without them, today won't be possible. Flush plates are a critical component in my toolbox. I am a perfectionist, and I need everything to be aligned in place. Here, you will get to see two parts being pulled together onto the same plane before fully tightening everything down. This takes away all the guesswork, and it's the most reliable method for all my projects. The result of this 3D printed part looks like this. A very well-aligned and accurate joint. I never knew what names I'm supposed to give the joints, but you already can tell how flushed it is. And as the structure gets larger, it gets harder to do it alone. Luckily, I'm a pretty strong man. Not as strong as some of you that's watching now, but strong enough to build this bed all by myself. And once this headboard is in, hanging by the printed parts, we can tighten it down and flip the bed the right side up. And for your information, I could not lift the old wooden bed alone. This aluminum bed is definitely lighter. And one more important thing. Till now, I already shown you so many different ways flush plates can help in your assembly. If you learned something, go to the comments and let me know what is the best one thing you learned today. But if you learned nothing, just comment nothing. It won't break my heart. Lifting the structure is easy. In fact, the heavy and dense MDF panels formed a large percentage of the total weight. Therefore, expect the frame to be much lighter than this. I really needed to say this because many people often ask me the weight of my products, which I really don't know. You really need to estimate from here. The bed frame is already very strong on its own, but for good measure, I went ahead and purchased these brackets to keep the frame square. Finding it wasn't easy because I need brackets that will work with my bolts and nuts, which are not for wood. After putting up these right angle brackets, I immediately knew right away this bed will outlive my existing lifespan. One day when I'm gone, this bed may be going to the National Museum as my legacy. And in order to further guarantee my legacy, I carefully planned and added a mid-brace to prevent the midsection from flexing over time. The mid-brace is a 2040 extrusion which will be held together with 4 corner brackets, and that will keep the entire structure completely solid for a long time to come. These corner brackets come with mounting holes suitable for M4 bolts, but for the sake of maximum strength, I need to enlarge the holes to use M5 bolts. Lucky for me, this turned out pretty easy to accomplish, and in no time, we will be ready to put on the wooden planks, which is another obstacle to overcome. For that, I went to IKEA instead to save time. I'll show you in a moment. 2 flush plates and some marked lines will help us easily secure the extrusion in the exact position. With precise and square cuts like these, and with all the correct parts and tools, will always lead to satisfying assemblies, like what you see now. But of course, experience is needed too. Like for these corner brackets, you also need to know which bolt to fasten first, in order not to pull parts out of position. That is why you need to smash the subscribe button to get all the tips I have for you. Trust me, the next 20 videos on the way will be very exciting. Alright, next up, I went to IKEA to get 2 sets of these. Can anyone help me pronounce this word? Is it Leroy? I'm not used to having punctuations above alphabets. Oh yeah, I haven't told you how this project came about in the first place. This bed is actually meant for my 95-year-old grandma. She is still mobile, but not that mobile anymore. And my wife wants me to get a bed that is...
A bed at this height, with a handle that is this height that Granny can use to stand up with, and you have to use this exact mattress that we already have. And it has to have a pull-out bed for our helper. And it must be strong enough for our daughter to use it as a trampoline, just in case she hops on it. And it has to fit in this corner. It must be easy to clean. I will want to drag it around, and it must be easy to dismantle, and it will be nice if there's lights on sensor, and I want you to go buy one exactly as I told you right now. Go! 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 Go!
I did try to shop around online, and I found one exactly as she described on the planet Uranus. If you want to get that bed, I'll leave it in the description below too. The bed isn't expensive, it's just that I cannot comprehend the shipment fee. Nevertheless, I decided to design and build one instead. Right now, I am adding these temporary stoppers to hold the planks in place, while I plan out the 3D printed parts to do this job. These planks are not supposed to shift, and I know exactly just how to do that. At this point, all I want to do is to start assembling the pull-out bed. She said it has to fit in this corner, and here you go, it fits in this corner. She said we need to use this exact mattress, so here you go, this exact mattress. It gets easier now that I can lay out all my tools on a platform in this new and empty house where I only have one table which I really need to do assembly on. And here is the same jig that I used to make the aluminum extrusion trolley that I used to move stuffs over to here. Using this jig, I've put many accurate holes for concealed joinery, and great news for all of you that has personally contacted us through our website asking for physical jigs. I've finally completed R&D stages for this drilling jig, and we are currently organizing and sorting it for the global market. In a short while, we will be ready. Nevertheless, please keep your requests coming in from the website. For this jig to work, we only need clamps, and any table will work. For this drilling task, we will do it overhung. No sacrificial wasteboard is required. A vacuum will suffice. The accuracy is impeccable, neat, and repeatable. Blind joints are how they call it. Blind joints will require holes precisely done at specific locations. Throughout our videos, blind joints were creatively used all over to create amazing furniture that removed the industrial look and feel, and cozy enough to let aluminum extrusion enter the domestic environment, satisfying enough for the lady to approve and use on a daily basis. For the pull-out bed, we'll use 30-30 profiles. I'll flush this corner joint with an aluminum end cap and get it ready to add the 2020 profile. For this portion, it resembles the upper bed, so I shall put on my favorite song, get a coffee, and watch the assembly together with all of you at the same time.
어릴 때 원했던 어른이 됐나 Thought I found oh she's mine 어제가 달렸구나 Let's just take it slowly 늦은 어떤 때 같은 곳을 바라보고 있잖아 Go anywhere you want to Underneath the pressure Oh, sometimes wish I knew it too Fly away from tomorrow 이제는 너무 멀리 와버렸던 거야 Yeah, I need you need me too I'm still chasing that mind all the time babe I need you need me too 그땐 신기루 그대로 나 돌아간다면 다시 한번 또나 바꿔주고 싶어 어렸던 내 맘을 Baby you Jump to your castle 내린 타이밍 이젠 빨리 흘러가겠지 그때가 그립다고는 못하겠어 난 아직 쫓아가고 있어 사실 난 Oh sometimes wish I knew it too Fly away from tomorrow 이제는 너무 멀리 와버렸던 거야 Yeah I need you need me too I'm still chasing that mind all the time babe I need you need me too 그땐 신기루 I need you need me too I'm still chasing that mind all the time babe I need you need me too 그땐 신기루
Hope you like the song as much as I did. I'd like to point that I put up the wrong wheels earlier on. My helper complained that the bed moves like the ocean, and if I don't fix it, she'll wake up in the living room. Despite my prior heavy planning, it is still not good enough. Therefore, I tweaked and improved the design, gotten new wheels, and made clips to hold down the wooden planks, and sent all of it to the 3D printer for fabrication. With these parts, I am totally confident that this design will arrive at the 100% completion mark. Look at this, freshly baked out of the oven. Since I'm that good at 3D printing, I might also excel at baking since heat is what I work with. My wife was right, the bed needs to be dragged around. The position changed since the last few minutes ago. The old wheels needs to be changed out with new wheels with locking mechanism, and the wheels at the middle of the bed needs to be supported with a custom piece of material. And as you can see, the ladies at home whom I call my slot cover party has already fitted in black slot covers everywhere, which I need to remove and replace as I go along. This is the unique piece that I designed after receiving the new wheels. It will help support and also utilize all the 4 mounting holes on the wheel plate. Some basic tapping will be needed, and the correct length of screws were the critical considerations when designing this part. These are off-the-shelf items that anyone can buy, but these may not be matching parts that go together. My ability to draw 3D models and print them out myself has been the missing link for many DIY people still. I feel very lucky to be where I am. In this design, I made 2 extra holes for mounting just in case, but ended up not required at all. Assembling it is extremely satisfying and therapeutic, because the idea physically came together right before my very eyes, on the very first try. And the rest will be to resize the slot covers and flip the bed right side up again. And now, we shall test it to see if it still feels like Titanic. We'll lock the wheels and see. All right, that is good! The 3D model has been adjusted and updated accordingly for the benefit of the next user, and we can now head on to secure the wooden planks. These 3D printed clips were carefully designed to grip the wood from both sides and locked down into the 2020 extrusion and stretched a little at both ends of the bed. This to me is a very simple design that checks all the boxes. It is firmly secured, the planks are held down and cannot come off. It has no weak spots. These clips do not limit the horizontal movement of the planks and allows a fair amount of movement when weight is applied above. And after this step, the Aluminum Extrusion Double Bed is fully completed. As some of you said, it looks simple, but not that simple. Yes, you are absolutely right again. For our customers seeking our services, please understand the amount of efforts we put in. We really have to charge appropriately on our fees. After a deep clean, the bed is set up for a double good night's sleep. Out of all the requirements my wife laid out at me, I can say I'm happy to score a 9 out of 10. We filmed the linen process, although I still cannot understand her love for checkered bed sheets and my granny's 95-year-old love for Minnie Mouse. And as promised, we can now get to step 1, a short clip of how the materials were prepared. These are the 3090 aluminum profiles used, and we have to tap all the ends to accept bolts. This process is relatively easy but tedious due to the vast number of holes to tap. For the MDF boards, I had to go to my workshop and utilize the tools I've built. And if you are new to our channel, yes, we made videos for this combination table saw and also this assembly table that can do crosscuts. Swing by our channel to binge watch those videos. I know you will enjoy it, because I filmed and edited those videos myself too. This is the process of routing the MDF panel to fit into the slots of the extrusions. I have an obsession to panel aluminum extrusion all the time. And if you want to learn the various ways to do it, you'll have to subscribe right now. My next many videos are all on paneling aluminum extrusion. For this aluminum extrusion double bed, we might have just very well reached the end of our presentation, and let's hope everyone enjoyed watching the build process. Everything you need will be listed in the description below, and if we missed out on anything, just let us know. Here are some more projects that I know you will definitely enjoy. Choose one and I will see you there.